Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So one question that I've been asked on my channel quite a bit is which DJI camera should I purchase? Summer is in full swing now. Some people are maybe looking to purchase their very first camera from DJI, an action camera or something like the Pocket 3, but they're not quite sure which one to go with. So that's what we're going to tackle in this video. Now we're going to keep this short and sweet. We're not going to go over all the features of each camera. We're just going to kind of go over what kind of user each camera is geared for and where each camera excels. So basically in front of me here, I have three cameras from DJI. I have the Action 4, that is their latest action camera. We have the Pocket 3, again, that's their handheld camera. And we have the Action 2. Now this camera's been out for quite some time. It just got a refresh a couple months ago where they've upped the internal memory to 128 gigabytes. Even though it is an older camera, it is still quite useful, and for some people it is the perfect choice. Now just to kind of explain the differences here, the Action 4 is DJI's full-fledged action camera. This thing is extremely durable. It captures incredible content. It has really good stabilization, and it's actually a very multi-purpose camera. You can use it, of course, for action sports, capturing all your weekend adventures. But it's great also for vlogging. Because of its durable build and its waterproof right out of the box, it's great for days at the beach, capturing family vacations. If you're a person who likes to create travel adventure vlogs, it's a great choice for that as well. It's very, very versatile. A firmware update a few months ago allows the DJI Mic 2 transmitter to be connected directly to it via Bluetooth. So that makes it very useful for a lot of different situations. Whether you just want to have a nice minimal vlogging kit, you want to do some moto vlogging, this fits nicely up in a helmet. It keeps the camera dustproof and waterproof because there are no exposed ports. So it's just a really good all-purpose camera for many different scenarios. Now if we go over to the Action 2, this is very similar. This was released several years ago and it was released as a full action camera as well. But really where this camera shines is the camera module is detachable. And with it now, you have a small, lightweight, wearable camera that can allow you to capture some really unique perspectives. Unlike a full-size action camera, these things can be a little uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. But with the Action 2, you can mount this on a hat. You can use the DJI branded headband to get some nice, interesting point of view shots. Of course, it can be mounted like any traditional action camera. It can be mounted with the DJI magnetic mounting system. So it's very versatile in that aspect. Now it does have some limitations compared to the Action 4, and that is mainly there is no replaceable battery. The battery bases is basically your battery. So if you are going to be recording for long periods of time, you do have to keep it connected to the base. If you're filming with just the module, it is going to be very limited. And on top of that, when it comes time to recharge it, you have to charge the base back up. You can't buy replacement batteries. You can buy replacement bases, but they are fairly costly. Whereas something like the Action 4 has a removable battery, and these batteries are fairly inexpensive, so you can have several of them to keep you powered throughout your filming. The other limitation is when using just the camera module, you're limited to the internal storage that's built in. It doesn't have a replaceable memory card. Now the older model was very limited. It was only 32 gigabytes, but their new updated model now comes with 128 gigabytes. So for most scenarios, that's more than enough storage. When it comes to the battery module, there is a memory card slot in there, so that does alleviate that somewhat. If the internal storage gets full, you can just connect the two and then transfer the footage over. Now when it comes to video quality, the quality of the video captured on the Action 4 is a little bit better than the Action 2. Not by much, but it is slightly better. This does have a larger sensor, which can make a big difference. On top of that, it does a little bit better in low light, and the stabilization is a little bit better as well. But if you're a person who's mainly going to be capturing point of view content, you just want something small, lightweight, and wearable, this is the best choice. And then of course you can still use it while attached to the battery base, and then you have a full action camera. If you're going to be filming a lot around water, only the camera module is waterproof like this. When attached to the battery base, this is not waterproof. So again, that could be a limitation to some people as well. Now, when it comes to the Pocket 3, this could be an appealing choice to some people as well. Now, the main differences with this compared to something like the Action 4 or the Action 2 is when it comes to stabilization, this uses a mechanical gimbal, whereas these action cameras use electronic image stabilization. And that can be beneficial in some areas, but also kind of a hindrance in others. For example, when it comes to low light filming, in order to get good stabilization on an action camera, you got to have a lot of light. As soon as you get into a darker environment, even under a tree canopy, the stabilization kind of falls apart a little bit. Whereas with a mechanical gimbal, you don't need a lot of light to have stabilization because it's the gimbal that is providing the stabilization. So if you're going to be doing a lot of filming indoors, say at trade shows, dimly lit interiors, a mechanical gimbal is definitely the way to go. On top of that, this also has a 1-inch sensor compared to a 1/1.3-inch sensor of the Action 4. So again, that larger sensor is going to allow for superior low light filming. Although that mechanical gimbal does have many benefits, in some situations it doesn't perform as good as electronic image stabilization. For example, if you're going to be mounting this on something like a dirt bike, a mountain bike, and you're going over really rough terrain, sometimes the gimbal has a hard time with that really rough terrain. If there's a lot of extreme bouncing and movement, that can really affect the way that gimbal performs. So in those types of situations, electronic image stabilization from something like the Action 4 or the Action 2 is a better choice. Although the camera itself and the gimbal is very robust, it can be delicate in some situations. For example, if you drop this, or it takes an impact if you're filming an extreme situation, there is a chance that you could damage that gimbal. Again, those situations, an action camera is the better choice. Now, another nice benefit of the Pocket 3, although we can connect one of these transmitters to the Action 4 via Bluetooth, you can only connect one at a time. Whereas with the Pocket 3, you can buy a kit that comes with one microphone, but you can purchase additional ones and connect 2 microphones at the same time, which is great if you're doing any type of interviews. On top of that, this has a built-in receiver, so you're going to have better, more reliable connection connecting to a device like this. Bluetooth works very well, but the range is limited and it is susceptible to interference, whereas you don't really get that with the Pocket 3. Now, you can connect multiple transmitters to the Action 4, but it does require you connecting a receiver. The Pocket 3 also has a built-in battery, so when the battery is depleted, you will have to plug it back in to recharge it. You can't swap out the battery, but they do sell these extended battery handles. It just plugs into the bottom, and that's going to extend your recording time. And for most people, that can definitely get you through a day of filming. Now, another benefit of using the Pocket 3 over something like the Action 4 or the Action 2 is that this is capable of tracking. So you could set your camera up on a tripod, or even if you're holding it in your hand, you can select a subject on the screen and the gimbal is going to move around and track you. And that can be very beneficial for many different reasons. If you're a person creating social media content, perhaps you're doing some cooking in a kitchen, this can follow you around your kitchen as you're preparing your food, or other situations that are similar to that. For myself, I tend to use my Action 4 more than my Pocket 3 for everyday use. I just find it a little bit easier to use, a little bit more robust, and for me, it works better for most of the scenarios that I'm filming. But I do actually use this quite a bit for recording YouTube videos. Several of the YouTube videos that I've uploaded over the last couple months have been recorded on the Pocket 3, including some of the ones that I recently uploaded. There was one for a PGY Tech backpack, and I did a power station comparison. All were filmed on the Pocket 3. Including several others. Now, as a last point for the Pocket 3, if you're a person who's going to be capturing from multiple platforms, it's easy to switch back and forth between horizontal and vertical video. Right now we have the screen rotated and we're filming in horizontal, but we can just simply switch it, and now we're going to be filming in vertical if we're going to be uploading to things like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok. Now with the Action 4, you can film vertically as well, but it does require you flipping the camera, turning it vertically. That means you have to put it in the included frame so it can be connected to a magnetic mount in a vertical format. But with the Pocket 3, you can just switch back and forth very easily. Now, lastly, with the Pocket 3, it is not waterproof. So if you're going to be doing any type of filming in and around water, maybe perhaps some snorkeling, a day at the beach, you're best to choose something like the Action 2, but preferably the Action 4. This is just better for underwater filming. So yeah, folks, that's basically it for this video. Those are some selling points of each camera. The Action 2, if you're looking for a small, lightweight, wearable camera, this is the best option. Everyday usage, high impact sports, vlogging, travel vacations, this is a great choice. And if you're going to be doing some filming for YouTube, again, if you want to do some travel vlogging, family vacations, things like that, the handheld Pocket 3 is a good choice. Now, if there's any other important selling points that you think a potential customer should know about before they purchase, please post them down in the comments. Hopefully you found this video had value. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.